What's up, everyone? My name is Lionel. I'm your host for LT Productions, and you are watching I Watch You Watch. I'm coming to give you the third episode of the drop that happened for the new fresh season of I'mBelAir, which is currently streaming on Peacock every Thursday. I appreciate everyone for coming to my channel. Please like this video and also subscribe to my channel if you're not already. And I welcome everyone back that is coming back to the channel, that are subscribed, and the ones that are just kind of still visiting around. I would encourage you to make your decision pretty soon and come on aboard. Leave your comments below also. So let's get into this episode. All right, so Will and Carlton are brainstorming as to how to design their new company, Black Success. They finally came up with the artwork. They got where the BLA, where the A is at. They have a crown right there and all that good stuff. Viv sees Jeffrey in the kitchen, and she's kind of staring at him, and Jeffrey's like, if you're going to stare at me, at least get my good side. So Viv was being kind of passive aggressive and saying, I don't want to pull you into certain stuff. And Jeffrey's like, She asked him, have you noticed that Erica's energy has been a little off? As she's asking that, Phil is coming in, and they change the subject. Phil sees the flowers. I think that was him, whoever. We saw the flowers. I think Vivian ended up showing the flowers to Phil, whoever did, whatever. So she sees that the bouquet of flowers is from the chef, and he was like, oh, he just has your name on it. And then she made a joke saying, I could get him to send you a bouquet of flowers too. So Viv goes off, and then he brings on some shade, Phil does, and says, those tacos wasn't that good. Crazy. All right, so down at Charlie's, where this is Jazz's place, a black congressman, Yolanda, she's down there really fighting for South LA. And she's hoping that there will be a revitalization down there. It looks like it's really being gentrified. But however, Carlton and Will met with her. I don't like to shade other TV shows. However, has anyone seen All American? I think it is a good show. I think it's missing some ingredients sometimes. And I feel like I'mBelAir is what All American was trying to be. I don't know. There's this sense of community that's taking place on I'mBelAir and really pushing black businesses. I mean, they have black business owners and shouted out their names on television. They are I don't know, and I think that I'mBelAir needs to be woken up a lot more, and at least black press should really be present into this show to promote this show, because they're finding ways to bring light to black painters, I love the show. Anyways, so she's in the office, and she's hoping that she can save South LA. I think Charlie's is the remaining business right now, but hopefully something will change. However, there's going to be a car show, and Will and Carlton are going to use their ability to, promote their business, but also to save Charlie's. Lisa, she's practicing for her swimming competition that she has going on. She wants to win nationals, and she is practicing with a woman named Nairobi. And she basically said, look, you're doing well, but if you have any summer plans, cancel them now, especially if you want to win these nationals. And she's committed to that. All right, so Viv, Hillary, and Ashley, they are meeting for lunch or just grabbing whatever at some fancy dinner restaurant. And Viv gives the good news to Hillary that a specific high-scale restaurant is willing to offer their building for them to host her and LaMarcus to host their engagement party. And then you get this yay out of Hillary, not really enthused whatsoever. And Viv says, aren't you excited? She's like, yeah, I am. I'm just kind of wrapped up in a lot of business right now. So Viv is getting all of these messages on her phone or whatever. Hillary checks it out and says, it looks like you got a stalker right now, blah, 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 blah. So Hillary ends up blocking the person that's stalking her. So Viv says, oh, I got to get up. I have to leave. I have to go meet Lisa. After they leave, Ashley has a talk with Hillary and basically says, I know why you're not excited about your engagement to LaMarcus. I saw you kissing Jazz, and there's no way that you're getting married. And then Hillary says, it was just a mistake, and you can't tell anyone. And Ashley encourages her to tell LaMarcus about this little kiss. All right, so Viv visits Lisa at the country club. She does thank her for the use of the country club to do her lessons or her training. And Viv said it's no problem. When your mother got sick, I made a promise to her that I would look out for you. Jackie comes over and thanks Aunt Viv for this job that she got here. And she basically says, can I be adopted? And then Lisa jumps in and she says, well, goddaughter has dibs on that. And then Jackie was like, hey, you're right. Much respect and all of that. You were here first. And then Lisa gonna say, and I'm still here. I said, Lord, uh-oh, the claws are out. So basically everything is explained that Jackie was seeing Will, and Aunt figures, oh, so there's a triangle happening here. I guess I wasn't really doing my job. And Lisa said, it's no problem. Look, you did what you did. That's fine. And then Aunt Viv was like, you always take the high road. And Lisa said, yep, but not by the end of this episode. Okay. Jeffrey, he talks with Phil. He said that has a new referral, a business for the law firm. It's a commercial building that they're building, and he says that it's wise to inquire your own businesses and basically to throw Aunt Viv off the scent of everything that Erica is doing for you. We also find out that Frederick is working at the firm. It looks like he's doing a better job than, or at least they're making a sport of Frederick doing very well at his job that he's doing as an assistant. All right, so Will and Carlton have already made their t-shirts as far as samples. Lisa and Jackie are around and they love the idea, and they also ask for their assistance at this car show just to promote the business, and everyone's down for it. Lisa's playing it pretty cool, but Carlton picks up after they leave, like, Will, it looks like you're an agent of chaos. You got your new boo or old boo and this other boo around here. And Will was like, Lisa's okay with it. I think everybody is cool. Basically, Carlton said, look, she's playing it cool, but I know Lisa has some thoughts about all this, and you're playing with fire. Will can't be concerned about that, whatever. So later on that night, Will tells Carlton, I think we got to keep an eye on Frederick, because I heard him having this conversation and Uncle Phil's thing the other night. He says that, I'm not a snitch, but do you think we should tell Jeffrey? And that's when Uncle Phil says, tell Jeffrey what about Frederick? And I forgot what the excuse they made, whatever, blah, blah, blah. I think it was like, can he come to the car show, whatever. And Phil says, I think that's a good idea. After Uncle Phil leaves again, him and Carlton say, because Carlton's like, why are we going to do that as far as invite him to the car show? And he thinks that if he's sus, I think we should keep him close. Then he'll reveal his hand. Phil and Viv. Uncle Phil and Viv getting more business. Oh, Uncle Phil tells Vivian that he's getting more business outside of what Erica is bringing in. And then Viv was like, well, wait a minute. You're getting more business, but didn't you just thank her because she's the one that's giving you all this business, da-da-da-da-da. And he was like, yeah, but you've been such a good sport, and I want to keep my wife happy. So I'm trying to move outside of just her being my only resource. And Viv said, is that all? And then Phil's like, yeah. Uncle Phil, you don't understand that women's intuition has kicked into high gear? So Viv says, Then Phil walks out the door. All right, so Ashley and, I'm saying it this way, but please don't take it the wrong way, the white girlfriend or the white schoolmate that she got that she's kind of attracted to all of a sudden, they're in her room or in the other girl's room, and Ashley has written this rap. And the basis of this whole rap is there's this masquerade that's going on in the Banks home. I said, Lord. People were saying this online, and I get what they're saying. Ashley, there's a masquerade going on. That also includes you. If we're gonna be truthful, let's be truthful. Let's lay it all out on the table, because there's no sense in pointing fingers at everybody else in the family, and there's four more pointing at you. Of course, you are dealing with your own sexuality. Only Hillary knows. Possibly Jeffrey knows too, but Hillary knows. I think that Aunt Viv suspects it, but she's not going to come to you. She's waiting on you. So make sure those four fingers are actively being moved and used and utilized. Let's see. All right, so Team Black Cess. Yes, I'm back. I had technical difficulties yesterday, or when the last time I shot, so today is a new day, and I have to give you the rest of this episode. I was talking about Team Black Cess. They were doing their thing as far as out there getting recognition for the business and also to save Charlie's. We move over to Hillary and Ivy, and it looks like Ivy has just become the sidekick to just say, yeah, get your man that's successful and rich, da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Hillary tells Ivy, yes, I kissed Jazz. And she said that's something that you need to take to your grave, because Hillary's feeling quite guilty about it. And she's like, no. Because she was asked, are you in love with Jazz? She's like, no, I'm not. Da, 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 da. We know you are in love with him. And we're still Team Hillary and Jazz over here. Jazzery or his, I don't know what it is as far as the couple thread or whatever, but that's who we are over here. You're in love with him. Just like Ashley said, you wouldn't be all this guilt written over it. All right, so at the car show, we find out that Jazz has to sell his car. At least he doesn't feel like there's any way that he's able to keep the business open unless he sells his car. This guy is there trying to offer a price, and he's like, really no sale, because he really doesn't want to give it up. Frederick shows up, and you can see that there is a different side to Frederick, that both Carlton and Will are looking at him like, okay. So, an update on the two girls that are in Will's life. Lisa sells 12 shirts, and then Ivy sells 36 shirts. Yeah. She says, you know what, I have a friend here, she has a nail salon, and I'm going to try to convince her to give you a little shelf space in her salon. And then she said, come meet her, blah, 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 blah. Amira shows up at with a Hellcat, and that was kind of shocking and also impressive, and a turn on to Carlton that she's actually into this type of stuff as far as these interesting cars. Amira does talk with Lisa because she was there for the conversation for the t-shirts. She's like, she's really being, as far as Jackie, she's being really disrespectful to your boyfriend. And Lisa was like, well, he's not my boyfriend. Then why do you look so salty? Say it, Amira. Say it, Amira. Carlton comes over to try to smooth things over. You know, everybody's happy. Everything's good. Amira, come with me. So, Uncle Phil goes and meets with a contractor who is Dule Hill, I think is his last name. But if you watched The Wonder Years, the black version, that got canceled by ABC, you might recognize him from there. There's other things that he did also. Basically, the contractor does have community opposition as far as building his building. Uncle Phil says that possibly their firm could speed up the process for him to continue work on the property. But first, he's got to see if the contractor and their business fits with their business profile. And then the contractor was like, look, this may not be the business that you're looking for, that your business profile fits. So whatever, take a look around if you want to. At the car show, bets are placed because Will has came up with an idea of how to save his car and also shop or whatever, and it's street racing because what was going on. Oh, we'll get to that in just a second, but Jazz is feeling down because he's got to let it go, the car. Will comes up with an idea to street race because Jazz was like, selling t-shirts are not going to make it for him, of course. So as he's really mourning over the car, he says, could you give me a few minutes alone with this car before I actually let it go? And that's when Will came up with the idea, let's street race. So back with Vivian and her assistant, they're trying to figure out who made the mural right outside of Vivian's office, and they find out who it is, and it's the same person that Hillary had blocked a couple of days ago. But she said, oh well, even though the assistant was like, do you really want to do that? And then she was like, well, didn't you just go out on a date with some stranger, blah, 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 blah. let's just take a chance. Obviously, this is going to bite Aunt Viv in the butt later on. So, the action pack of this episode is Will and Carlton. They actually race this guy that looks like he was getting ahead of the dudes. They tried all these moves and got off course, but somehow Carlton was able to navigate Will to get back, and it looked like the other dude was about to win, but they were able to come through an alley and actually win the street race, and Jazz got to save his car. So afterwards, Jackie says, hey, y'all want to celebrate at this burger place? It's supposed to be closed, but since I know the guy, they said that they'll hold it open for me. And then Lisa has had it up to here and just says, you know, dang, B, are you always this helpful? Or are you just showing, or you need to show how much you, what is it? Or what is it? About getting Will's attention. It's about, so you wanted to sell t-shirts. I wrote it down wrong. But are you just this helpful? Are you just selling off these t-shirts because you know that's the only way to get Will's attention? Silence. And awkward. Jackie said, look, I'll just go. And the mirror says, yeah, you need to go. You should leave. And then Lisa goes off on Will because Will's like, what's going on? Like, I don't have the energy to compete with whatever you have going on. I said no labels because you don't know what you want. This is Lisa talking to Will. And then she walks off, blah, 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 blah. Carlton looks at Will, and Will says, don't say nothing. So, next thing you know, a fight is about to break out with Frederick and some other dude. They accuse him of stealing money. Frederick says he didn't do this, blah, 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 blah. The police come, and all three of the boys, they do run off. And then it is discovered, Frederick shows them that he did steal the money. Jeffrey pulls up. Of course, he's always going to pull up. And he asks, you know, care to explain? Because I'm sure it's pretty easy for me to fill in all the pieces. Frederick says that he stopped Will and Carlton, these Beverly boys, from getting into a fight. And that's it. All right, so the next day, Will and Lisa. Will comes by Lisa and we're just saying, I'm really into you. I know what your schedule is. And he says, you know, I want you to know that you can count on me, just like I've been needing for you to count on me, or me count on you when I first moved to Bel-Air. Lisa says, you know, I wasn't myself. And he said, I never heard you use the B word. Will says that I want you. There is no confusion about it. And I'm waiting on you to want me back. So Lisa says, let's make it official. So now Will and looks like Jackie is the one that helped Lisa just finally want to make a decision. However, I think it was also Will just really showing up in a way that he has not shown up for Lisa before to make her say, let's give this another chance. So Will and Lisa, we'll see how this goes. Viv goes and visits Erica, and she just basically wants to know what the hell is going on. Ashley and girlfriend, they're talking about music, putting the music on the site or whatever. And the girlfriend ends up saying, it's just nice seeing you have a smile on your face. And then they smile. We don't see them kiss or anything as of yet. We shall see when that happens. All right, so Hill and Ivy, they show up to LaMarcus's football game. Hill says that she's telling LaMarcus the truth today. And she says, dang, you going to say that to him right before he's about to play his game? And Hill says, it's now or never. And as she's about to tell him, he's being called to go play football. Will, Carlton, and Frederick, they meet up and basically saying, hey, I think you need to tell Jeffrey the truth as to what's going on. I've known Jeffrey for a long time, and it's just best to do it. And then he was like, oh, so since you were able to live around Jeffrey all this time, you think you know him better, da-da-da-da-da. But if I'm going to say anything, I'm going to mention the street racing. I'm going to tell it all. And then he walks off. Like, I'm not going to be the only one getting in trouble here. So Carlton was like, great idea for wanting to keep him close. I mean, obviously you're going to find out other things about Frederick. I don't think it was a bad idea. It's just including him in some of the stuff you got going on is the wrong idea. Phil and Viv. Oh, Viv is at home. It's dark. It's crazy up in there. Phil comes home and Viv says, I spoke with Erica. She told you. Yeah, she told you. All this time I was worried about Carlton, but really there was another man in the house that I should have been keeping my eye on. Phil says in his explanation, I chose not to bring more stress to our marriage. And then she said, oh, our marriage is stressful? I mean, well, Viv, y'all have not been having sex for a month plus. Something else is going on in the marriage. Just saying. So as they're arguing, going back and forth, Carlton is hearing all of that because I guess the room was right next to them. I thought it would have been Ashley. So at LaMarcus's football game, he starts whatever. All of a sudden, LaMarcus gets hit. He stands up and he looks like he's okay. Then he starts to walk a little bit. It looks like he's about to faint or whatever, and then he falls to the ground. So that was the end of the episode. So it looks like LaMarcus is down for the count. I made this kind of connection. Now, remember when Hillary got engaged on The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air? I think this was season 4. That's when light skinned Vivian came. She was engaged to Trevor, the weatherman, or was about to get engaged. He proposed by bungee jumping. Hillary, will you? And then everything went blank. What if this is going to be the same thing? Or at least Hillary's going to be guilted into staying with a man that she knows that she doesn't love. There's a lot of possibilities. I don't know what's going to happen with Phil and Viv. I think somebody's going to cheat. Who? I don't know. If Viv does get her lick back, I guess you can't really say too much, but I mean, you did say I do, so I don't know how in the right you would be in this whole situation. Sorry. But y'all leave me your comments below. Are you shipping Lisa and Will being back together? What about this Frederick character? You think he's going to be around?